All right, folks, imagine this. You're digging through your couch cushions, hoping to find some loose change for a vending machine snack, and BM. You pull out a penny worth $2.7 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, for some lucky collector, that dream became reality with the discovery of a 1986 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, a penny? Worth more than my house. Yep. And today, we're going to break down exactly why this little copper wonder is fetching a fortune, what to look for, and how you might just have a hidden treasure sitting in your pocket change. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know everything about the legendary 1986 no mint mark Lincoln penny, and who knows, you might be sitting on a gold mine. Or, well, a copper mine. So, let's get into the juicy details. What makes this particular 1986 penny so special? I mean, pennies are everywhere. You probably have a few rattling around in your car's cup holder right now. But this one? This one's different. It all comes down to a little, tiny, easy-to-miss detail. There's no mint mark. Now, most 1986 pennies were made at the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, or the Denver Mint, with a D. But here's the kicker. All pennies from Philadelphia that year were supposed to have a mint mark. Somehow, a few of these pennies left the mint without that crucial little P. A mint error like this is incredibly rare, and when collectors find something rare, they're willing to shell out, no pun intended, ridiculous amounts of money to own it. Now, let me tell you about the guy who first found one of these. It's 2007, and a coin collector named Bill, we're gonna call him Bill because, well, that was actually his name, is going through a giant jar of pennies. He's sorting through them like he's hunting for treasure, because, let's be honest, he kind of is. And then he sees it. A 1986 penny that just feels different. Something about it catches his eye. He looks closer, flips it over, and notices no mint mark. At first, he thinks, maybe it's just worn off. But he takes out his magnifying glass, because all serious coin collectors have one, and realizes, nope, this thing was never stamped with a mint mark at all. He sends it off to be graded, and guess what? Turns out, he's holding on to one of the rarest modern pennies ever discovered. Fast forward a few years, and the penny sells at auction for a jaw-dropping $2.70 million. All right. So now you're probably itching to check your change. It has to be a 1986 penny. No other year will work. There should be a small letter there. If you see a D or a P, it's just a regular penny worth. Well, a penny. If there's no mint mark at all. Start celebrating. You'll want to get it checked first before you start planning your retirement. Getting it verified if you think you found one. Don't just list it on eBay for $1 million and hope for the best. You'll need to get it authenticated by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. These folks will examine your penny, give it a grade, and tell you if you've actually hit the jackpot. And hey, even if it's not the $2.7 million penny, other mint error pennies can still be worth serious cash. Some 1986 pennies with minor errors have sold for thousands of dollars. Not bad for a coin that most people wouldn't even bend down to pick up. My almost jackpot penny. Speaking of rare pennies, let me tell you about the time I thought I struck it rich. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, digging through an old tin of loose change, because, that's just what us coin nerds do for fun. I spot a shiny 1986 penny with no visible mint mark. My heart starts racing. I can already picture myself on the news. Local YouTuber finds $2.7 million penny, buys a private island. I rush home, get out my best magnifying glass, and turns out the mark had just been worn off over time. Yep, just a regular old penny, worth 1 cent. You ever go from feeling like a millionaire to feeling like you need a snack to cope with disappointment? Because, let me tell you, that's exactly what happened. But hey, that's the thrill of coin collecting. Sometimes you strike out, but sometimes, just sometimes, you hit the jackpot. Before we wrap this up, let me hit you with a few more pennies that could be worth big money, worth up to $1.7 million. These were accidentally made in copper when they should have been steel. That date looks doubled? You could be looking at thousands of dollars. If the letters A and M in America are almost touching, it's worth thousands. There's a lot of treasure hidden in plain sight, my friends. You just have to know where to look. The story of the 1986 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin worth $2.7 million. If you learned something new today, or if you're now frantically checking your loose change, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe. I've got plenty more coin collecting tips, rare finds, and money-making strategies coming your way. And trust me, you don't want to miss out. Who knows? The next video might just help you find your $1,000,000 penny. All right, folks, have you ever tossed a penny aside, thinking, it's just a penny? Well, buckle up, because that little copper-colored coin in your pocket might just be worth more than your car, your house, and possibly your entire retirement plan. That's right. We're talking about a 2018 D-Lincoln penny that sold for a jaw-dropping $2.7 million. And before you start frantically checking your couch cushions, stick with me. Today, we're going deep into how this happened, what makes this penny so valuable, and most importantly, how you can spot one. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I found a weird-looking penny while grabbing my morning coffee. It had a strange doubling on the letters, and I thought, hey, maybe this is worth something. I took it to a coin shop, all excited, and the guy looked at me, chuckled, and said, "Buddy, that's just a regular penny. Want me to trade you for a shiny new one?" Let's just say my hopes were crushed harder than a coin at a train crossing. But hey, I learned a valuable lesson. Knowing what to look for is key. And today, I'm here to make sure you don't get laughed out of a coin shop. The 2018 D-Lincoln penny was minted in Denver and, at first glance, looks like any other penny. But here's the kicker. A rare error occurred during production that made it incredibly valuable. This wasn't just any error. This was a 1 in a million mistake. Imagine working at the US Mint. It's a Monday, you haven't had your coffee yet, and boom, you accidentally strike a penny twice. That's essentially what happened. So, what's the deal with this penny? The $2.7 million coin had a dramatic double-die error, meaning parts of the design were struck twice but slightly misaligned. This created a ghostly doubling effect on Lincoln's face and the lettering. It's like Honest Abe had a twin. Why $2.7 million? Who's paying that much? Great question. The reason this coin reached such an insane value is that it was in perfect condition, graded as MS 69 read by PCGS. That's nearly flawless. It's like finding a 50-year-old car with 0 miles on it, still wrapped in plastic. Collectors go absolutely bananas for these types of errors, especially when they're rare and well-preserved. And let's be real, if you had millions to spend, wouldn't you want to own a piece of history too? All right, now for the fun part. How do you find one of these in the wild? Check your spare change. This sounds obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people overlook their pennies. Look for doubling on the letters and numbers. Grab a magnifying glass. Trust me, your eyes will thank you. Examine Lincoln's face. If he looks like he had one too many drinks and his features are doubled, bingo, you might have a winner. If you think you've got something special, get it graded. Send it to PCGS or NGC for professional authentication. A small investment could turn into a life-changing payday. Now, before you quit your day job to hunt for pennies full-time, let's be real. The odds of finding this exact penny are incredibly slim. But hey, people win the lottery, right? And guess what? There are other valuable 2018 pennies with minor errors worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So don't lose hope. So, next time someone hands you a penny, don't be so quick to toss it into the tip jar. Give it a good look. You might just be holding a retirement plan in disguise. And if you love discovering coins worth crazy money, make sure to subscribe to this channel. I'll keep bringing you the best tips, strategies, and stories from the world of coin collecting. Who knows? Your next find could be the one that changes everything. Now, go check your pockets. You've got some treasure hunting to do. All right, folks, imagine this. You're digging through some loose change, maybe looking for a vending machine snack, and boom, you spot a humble little 1991 D penny. You think, just another penny, and toss it aside. But what if I told you that one of those pennies is worth a jaw-dropping $2.8 million? That's right. A single, regular-looking, everyday penny could be hiding a fortune in plain sight. Now, I know what you're thinking. Come on, a penny? $2.8 million. Sounds like a fantasy, right? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving deep into this insane coin, why it's worth so much, and most importantly, how you can check your own pennies to see if you're sitting on a jackpot. And hey, if you love coins that could make you rich, make sure to hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss out on the next big find. All right, first things first, what makes the 1991 D-Lincoln penny so special? Why on earth would anyone pay nearly $3 million for a coin that most people wouldn't even bend down to pick up off the sidewalk? This isn't just any 1991 D penny. This rare one has a major minting error, one so bizarre and unusual that it has coin collectors losing their minds. The coin in question was struck on a bronze planchet instead of the standard copper-plated zinc used in 1991. Now, if you're new to coin collecting, that might not sound like a big deal. But let me tell you, when the US Mint accidentally uses the wrong metal, that's like finding a misprinted baseball card of Babe Ruth holding a hockey stick. It just doesn't happen. Back in 1991, pennies were supposed to be made from a core of zinc with a thin layer of copper on top. But somehow, a leftover bronze blank from an earlier year ended up in the Denver Mint's presses, and a one-of-a-kind, priceless penny was born. Now, let's talk money. Why would someone pay millions for this mistake? Well, it all comes down to rarity and demand. There's only one known example of this penny. That's right, just one. And when there's only one of something in the entire world, collectors go wild. It's like having the Mona Lisa of pennies. The person who owns this coin? They have something nobody else can ever have. That kind of exclusivity? It drives prices through the roof. If you found the last slice of pizza on Earth, you could bet someone would pay millions to get it. Because once it's gone, it's gone. All right, now for the fun part. How do you check your pennies to see if you've got this $2.8 million jackpot? It's simple. Look for a 1991 penny with a little D under the date. That means it was minted in Denver. If you don't see the D, it's not our lucky coin. But don't worry, there are still plenty of other valuable pennies out there. This is the big one. Regular 1991 pennies weigh about 2.5 grams. But the rare bronze era penny? It weighs 3.1 grams. So, grab a small digital scale. You can get one online for cheap, and weigh your penny. If you think you have something unusual, take it to a coin expert or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm if it's the real deal. Now, let me tell you a quick story. Years ago, before I got deep into coin collecting, I found an old wheat penny in my change. It looked different, but I didn't think much of it. So what did I do? I spent it on a pack of gum. Yep, I traded what could have been a valuable collector's item for 5 minutes of minty freshness. A week later, I learned that the same kind of penny had sold for over $1,000. I nearly fell out of my chair. Since then, I check every penny I get, because you never know when a tiny copper coin could change your life. So, if you ever catch yourself thinking, it's just a penny, remember my story. Check your change. Always. All right, folks, we've covered a lot today. The legendary 1991 D. Lincoln penny, the crazy mistake that made it worth millions, and most importantly, how you can check your own pocket change for hidden treasures. Rare coins are out there. They're in your change jar, in your couch cushions, maybe even in your grandpa's old coffee can of pennies. But you'll never find them if you're not looking. So, here's my challenge to you. Go grab some pennies, check those dates, and weigh anything that looks suspicious. Who knows? You might be sitting on a fortune and not even realize it. And before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more tips on coins worth serious money. I'll be back with more stories, more strategies, and more chances to turn pocket change into a payday. Ever thought that the humble penny jingling in your pocket could be worth a fortune? Well, today we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1975 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Spoiler alert, while it might not make you an overnight millionaire, it's got a story worth every cent. First things first, let's clear up the mystery behind the no-mint mark thing. In 1975, if a penny doesn't have a mint mark, it means it was minted in Philadelphia. Back then, the Philly Mint didn't stamp their coins with a P. So, if your 1975 penny is missing a mint mark, it's just a regular Philly penny. I know. Rumors fly around about certain pennies fetching astronomical prices. While it's true that some rare coins have sold for big bucks, the 1975 no mint mark penny isn't typically one of them. In fact, most of these pennies are worth, well, a penny. However, there are exceptions. If you happen to have a 1975 penny in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially one that's been graded highly by a professional service, it could be worth more. For instance, a 1975 Lincoln penny graded MS68 red by PCGS once sold for $9,000. PCGS.com, but such cases are rarer than finding a needle in a haystack. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I stumbled upon a shiny 1975 penny while cleaning out my grandma's attic. My heart raced. Could this be the jackpot? Dreams of early retirement flashed before my eyes. I rushed to a local coin appraiser, only to be told it was worth 1 cent. Turns out, while the coin was in decent shape, it wasn't the flawless specimen that collectors pay top dollar for. But hey, It was a fun adventure and a great lesson in numismatics. Coins with minting mistakes, like double dies or off-center strikes, can be valuable. For example, the 1969 double die penny is worth a pretty penny, up to $37,200. The Sun.com certain years and mint mark combinations are scarce. The 1909 SVB penny, for instance, is a collector's dream due to its low mintage. en.wikipedia.org coins in mint or uncirculated condition are more valuable. Even a common coin can fetch a higher price if it's in exceptional shape. While the 1975 no mint mark Lincoln penny might not fund your next vacation, coin collecting is a hobby rich in history and surprises. So next time you find a peculiar coin, take a closer look. Who knows? You might just discover a hidden gem. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of coins and want more tips on spotting valuable currency, hit that subscribe button. Let's embark on this numismatic journey together. And remember, always check your change. Your next treasure might be hiding in plain sight. Ever wondered if that humble penny jingling in your pocket could be worth a fortune? Well, hold on to your hats, because today we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1976 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Spoiler alert, one of these little copper coins fetched nearly $8,000 at auction. Intrigued? Let's uncover the secrets behind this unassuming cent and see if you might have a hidden treasure lurking in your change jar. First off, let's set the scene. The year was 1976, and the United States was buzzing with bicentennial fever, celebrating 200 years of independence. While quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins got special designs to mark the occasion, the trusty penny kept its classic look. But don't let its ordinary appearance fool you. There's more to this coin than meets the eye. In 1976, over 4.6 billion pennies were minted without a mint mark, primarily in Philadelphia. These coins are as common as dad jokes at a family dinner. However, what sets some of them apart is their condition. Most pennies have been through the ringer, passed from pocket to pocket, scratched, and scuffed. But a select few have remained in pristine condition, untouched by the ravages of time. All right, maybe not $1 million, but close enough to make you do a double take. A standard 1976 penny in average circulated condition is worth 1 cent surprise. But if you've got an uncirculated gem that's been hiding in a drawer for decades, things get interesting. In mint state, MS grades, especially MS 67 and above, these coins can fetch anywhere from $50 to several $1,000s. In fact, one such penny-graded MS 68RD sold for a whopping $7,931.25 in 2014. Coins. The Funty Mess Guide. Not all pennies are created equal, and color plays a significant role in determining value. Collectors categorize pennies based on their coloration, bright and shiny, as if it just left the mint. These are the most sought after. A 1976 penny with a vibrant red tone in mint state can command higher prices than its brown counterparts. Now, let's talk about the juicy stuff, error coins. These are the happy little accidents that make collectors' hearts race. When the coin design is not properly centered, depending on the degree of the error, such coins can be worth between $50 and $200. Raised bumps or lines caused by a damaged die. Major die breaks can fetch between $20 and $100. Some double dies, duplicated images, or text resulting from misaligned strikes. While major double dies are rare for 1976 pennies, minor ones can still be worth between $5 and $50. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I was helping my grandmother clean out her attic when we stumbled upon an old piggy bank, heavy with coins. Amidst the sea of change, a shiny 1976 penny caught my eye. It was in remarkable condition, with a rich red luster. Curiosity piqued. I had it appraised, and to my astonishment, it was graded MS 67RD and valued at over $1,000. Not bad for a coin that had been gathering dust for decades. The next time you find a 1976 penny, take a closer look. While most are worth their face value, that rare uncirculated gem or error coin could be worth a pretty penny. Pun intended. Happy hunting, and may your coin jars be filled with hidden treasures. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin collecting and want to uncover more hidden gems in your pocket change, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join our community of coin enthusiasts, and let's discover the treasures that might be hiding in plain sight. Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out a penny, and realizing it's worth $1 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, buckle up, because today we're talking about the 2011 D. Lincoln penny that has taken the coin collecting world by storm. That's right, this little copper-coated beauty is fetching a jaw-dropping $1 million. Now, before you start flipping over your couch cushions, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was sorting through my pocket change like I always do. My wife thinks I'm crazy for spending hours staring at pennies, but hey, everyone needs a hobby. Anyway, I came across a 2011 D penny. At the time, I didn't think much of it. It was just another modern coin, right? Oh, how wrong I was. That's why you need to stick around, because today, I'm going to tell you exactly what makes this penny so valuable, how to spot one, and why it's breaking records in the coin collecting world. You don't want to miss this. First things first, what makes this 2011 D. Lincoln penny worth $1 million? We all know most pennies are, well, just pennies. They get lost in couch cushions, stuck in car cup holders, and sometimes even chewed on by toddlers. Don't ask. But every once in a while, a coin comes along that turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. This particular penny isn't just any 2011 D. It has a rare error that collectors are going absolutely nuts for. Now, let's break this down. The 2011 D. Lincoln penny has a dramatic double die error. This means the design was accidentally stamped twice, creating a noticeable doubling effect. On this specific penny, the doubling is most visible in Lincoln's eye, his bow tie, and even some of the lettering on the coin. If you're squinting at your screen right now, don't worry, I'll explain exactly how to spot it in a second. Another key feature? The floating D mint mark. Normally, the D on a Denver minted penny is perfectly placed, but on this $1 million coin, it's slightly off-centered, almost like it's trying to make a run for it. If your penny looks like it's been sipping too much coffee and jittering out of place, you might have something special. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, but why does this make it worth $1 million? Great question. Rare errors, especially dramatic ones, are the holy grail of coin collecting. When a mistake like this slips past the US Mint and makes it into circulation, collectors will pay big bucks to get their hands on one. Add in the fact that only one known specimen has been found so far, and you've got the perfect storm for a record-breaking price. So how do you find one of these $1 million pennies? Well, first of all, don't go spending your 2011 pennies just yet. Check your change jars, your car's cup holder, even that junk drawer full of random stuff. Grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe and inspect the penny closely. Look for that doubling in Lincoln's eye and bow tie. Check the mint mark. If the D looks like it's floating or off-center, you might be holding history in your hands. And if you do, well, you might want to sit down before you check the auction prices. Let me tell you, when I first heard about this penny, I almost lost my mind. I tore through my collection, flipping over every 2011 D I could find. My wife walked in and saw me knee-deep in pennies, muttering to myself like a mad scientist. She asked if I was okay, and I just held up a handful of pennies and said, "I'm looking for $1 million." She shook her head, walked away, and mumbled, "I married a lunatic." That's the life of a coin collector. We live for these moments, the thrill of the hunt, the possibility of finding treasure in the most unexpected places. So, what's the takeaway here? Simple. Check your change. That 2011 D penny jingling in your pocket might just be worth more than your car, maybe even your house. And if you love learning about coins that can make you rich, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because I've got plenty more money-making coin tips coming your way. Now, go grab your change jar and start hunting. Who knows? The next millionaire could be you. You're digging through your spare change, maybe about to pay for your morning coffee, and you spot a 2005 Lincoln penny. Looks normal, right? But hold on. What if I told you that little copper coin could be worth over $1 million? Yeah, you heard that right. A 2005 penny, with no mint mark, recently sold for a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. That's the kind of money that could pay off your mortgage, buy you a fancy sports car, or, if you're anything like me, fund a lifetime supply of coffee and a few too many late-night eBay coin purchases. So today, we're going deep into this incredible penny. How did it happen? Why is it worth so much? And most importantly, do you have one hiding in your collection? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to be checking your pockets, your couch cushions, and maybe even that old piggy bank you forgot about. Now, most pennies are, Well, pennies. You find them everywhere, on the ground, under your car seat, stuck in that mysterious abyss between your washing machine and the wall. But this particular penny? It's in a league of its own. In 2005, the US Mint cranked out billions of pennies. But something weird happened. At least one penny slipped through the system without a mint mark and with a major die error that collectors absolutely love. See, normally, pennies from Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, while Denver ones have a little D. And San Francisco proofs have an S. But this one was struck with a rare die variation that made it a true one-of-a-kind piece. What makes this penny so valuable? All right, let's break it down. What turned this ordinary-looking coin into a seven-figure jackpot? Experts believe this penny was struck with an experimental die, leading to subtle but crucial differences in its design. A missing mint mark in this case isn't just an oversight, it's a game-changer. This bad boy was graded at MS69 red, which is basically like finding a classic car that's never been driven. Coins that are nearly flawless skyrocket in value. Collector demand. Coin collectors go absolutely wild for unique errors, and when word got out that this 2005 no mint mark penny existed, the bidding wars started. And then, boom. At an auction, a deep-pocketed collector dropped $1.1 million to claim it. Talk about turning pocket change into life-changing money. Now, let me tell you a little story. A few years ago, I was just like any other casual collector, sorting through pennies, hoping to find something cool, but never really expecting anything big. One day, I was at a flea market, and this guy had a whole jar of old pennies. He wanted $5 for the whole thing. I figured, why not? I took it home, poured it out on my desk, and started digging. A few wheat pennies, some decent finds, but nothing crazy. Then, weeks later, I came across an odd-looking penny from the 1990s with a weird doubling effect. Turns out, it was a major double die variety, worth a few $100. Not exactly $1 million, but it was enough to make me realize something. There's real money hiding in everyday coins, and that's why I always say never underestimate the power of pocket change. Check for a missing mint mark, examine it closely for any oddities, like doubling, strange strikes, or off-center details. Step 4. If it looks suspiciously unique, get it graded. A professional coin grading service can confirm if you've hit the jackpot. And hey, if you don't have this specific penny, don't get discouraged. There are still tons of valuable pennies out there. 1955 double die, 1972 double die, 1983 DDR, you name it. The world of rare coins is full of surprises. So there you have it. A simple 2005 penny, worth over $1 million. Who would have thought, right? It just goes to show that treasure isn't always buried deep. It might just be sitting in your pocket. Go check your pennies right now. Seriously. And if you find anything interesting, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your stories. And of course, if you love learning about coins worth big money, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more coin hunting tips, valuable finds, and collecting strategies coming your way. You go to buy a cup of coffee, hand the cashier a handful of change, and later realize you just gave away a penny worth $1.2 million. Yep, that's the kind of story that keeps coin collectors up at night, sweating bullets. Today, we're diving into the 1985 D-Lincoln penny. A coin that was just another pocket change warrior until someone discovered a jaw-dropping error that made it worth a fortune. This little copper beauty could be hiding in your couch, your car's cup holder, or that random junk drawer we all have. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and maybe, just maybe, you'll strike it rich. Let me start with a quick personal story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, one of those places where you can find everything from vintage records to someone's grandma's collection of ceramic cats. As usual, I was digging through a bin of old coins, hoping to find a hidden gem. An older guy next to me chuckled and said, "Son, people don't realize the money they throw away." I smiled and nodded, but little did I know he was 100% right. Fast forward to today, and here we are talking about a single 1985 D penny that sold for $1.2 million. Can you imagine? That's enough to buy a house, a couple of luxury cars, or approximately 240 million gumballs from those old vending machines. So what makes this penny worth more than a brand new Ferrari? Let's break it down. First, the basics. The 1985 D penny was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark. Most of them are just regular old pennies made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. Nothing fancy, right? But here's where things get interesting. The $1 million penny in question had a rare, mind-blowing error, something that slipped past the mint's quality control. This particular coin was struck on a copper planchet meant for a 1960s penny instead of the correct zinc-coated planchet used in 1985. That's like accidentally printing a 1985 newspaper on parchment from the 1700s. Someone at the mint must have had one job and seriously dropped the ball. Collectors go nuts for these mistakes because they shouldn't exist. In fact, only one of these has been confirmed, making it a true unicorn in the coin world. But wait, how do you know if you've got one? First, check the date and mint mark. If you've got a 1985 D, grab a magnet. If it sticks, sorry, you've got a regular penny. If it doesn't, you might be in business. The weight should also be slightly different, 3.11 grams instead of the usual 2.5 grams of the modern zinc pennies. A jeweler's scale can help you out here. Now, let's talk about value. If your penny matches the criteria, do not, I repeat, do not spend it on a vending machine snack. Instead, take it to a reputable coin dealer or grading service like PCGS or NGC. A professionally graded error coin can fetch life-changing money. And remember, condition matters. The better the shape, the bigger the payday. So, let's recap. The 1985 D penny you might have sitting in your pocket could be worth a fortune if it has that rare copper planchet error. It's one of those once-in-a-lifetime finds that turns an ordinary day into a legendary one. Now, before you run off to dump your change jar on the table, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more videos on valuable coins, hidden treasures, and tips that could help you turn pocket change into serious cash. Who knows, maybe the next big discovery is sitting right under your nose. Hey there, coin enthusiasts. Imagine this. You're sifting through your pocket change, and suddenly, you spot a penny that's worth a cool $1 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 2000 mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. We'll explore its history, what makes certain pennies incredibly valuable, and whether your 2000 penny could be your ticket to $1 million. So, grab your magnifying glasses and let's embark on this numismatic adventure together. Before we zoom in on the 2000 mint mark penny, let's take a quick trip down memory lane. The Lincoln penny made its debut in 1909, commemorating the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's likeness. Over the years, the penny has seen various design changes and minting locations, each adding a unique chapter to its story. Now, you might be wondering, what's the deal with mint marks? Mint marks are tiny letters on coins that indicate where they were produced. A coin without a mint mark typically hails from the Philadelphia Mint. However, the absence of a mint mark doesn't automatically mean your coin is rare or valuable. It's the combination of factors like rarity, errors, and historical significance that can make a coin a collector's dream. The 2000 Lincoln penny without a mint mark was produced in Philadelphia, and here's the kicker. Millions upon millions were minted. This high mintage means that, in general, these pennies are quite common and usually worth their face value. 1 cent. I remember the time I found a jar full of 2,000 pennies in my attic, only to discover they were just regular coins. My dreams of early retirement were dashed, but it sparked my interest in coin collecting. So, what transforms an ordinary penny into a $1 million masterpiece? 1943 bronze Lincoln penny. During World War II, copper was needed for the war effort, so pennies were made from steel. However, a few bronze blanks were mistakenly used, creating the rare 1943 bronze penny. One such penny fetched over $1 million at auction. A minting error caused a noticeable doubling of the date and lettering on this coin. Collectors go wild for such errors, and pristine versions can sell for hefty sums. 1969 double die obverse penny. Similar to the 1955 error, this penny features doubling on the obverse front side. It's another sought-after gem in the coin collecting world. The standard 2000 mint mark penny isn't rare. Certain anomalies could make it valuable. Errors. Look for misstrikes, off-center images, or unusual markings. These minting mistakes can pique collectors' interest. Variations in the coin's design, like doubling of images or letters, can add value. Coins that have never been circulated and show nowhere, known as mint state, are more desirable to collectors. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I was helping my grandmother clean out her old house. Tucked away in a dusty drawer was a small coin collection my grandfather had started. Among the coins was a 1969 double die obverse penny. We had it appraised, and to our astonishment, it was worth several $1,000s. That experience taught me the value of paying attention to the small details in coins. In conclusion, while finding a 2000 no mint mark Lincoln penny worth $1,000,000 is highly unlikely, the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Always keep an eye out for unusual features, errors, or coins in exceptional condition. Who knows? Your next handful of change might just contain a hidden treasure. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of valuable pennies and want to uncover more coin collecting tips and stories, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join our community of enthusiasts, and let's continue this exciting journey together. Ever thought a humble penny could make you a millionaire? Well, grab your magnifying glasses, because today we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1969 Lincoln penny. Spoiler alert, one of these bad boys could be worth up to $1.1 million. Let's uncover the secrets hiding in your spare change. First things first, let's talk about what makes this penny special. In 1969, the Denver Mint produced over 4 billion of these coins. But don't let that massive number fool you. Not all pennies are created equal. Some of these pennies have unique errors that make them incredibly valuable. One such error is the floating roof. Sounds spooky, right? It's when the roof of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side appears detached, as if it's levitating. This happens due to over-polishing of the die during minting. While not every floating roof penny will fund your dream vacation, they can fetch a pretty penny, pun intended, among collectors. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, the $1.1 million penny. You might have heard rumors about a 1969 penny selling for this jaw-dropping amount. However, after scouring auction records and expert reports, there's no concrete evidence of such a sale. The highest recorded sale for a 1969 penny was $126,500, and that was a 1969 double die obverse error, not a Denver Mint. So, while it's fun to dream, let's keep our expectations grounded. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I was sorting through a jar of pennies. Yes, the same jar everyone has collecting dust. I found a 1969 penny with what looked like a floating roof error. My heart raced faster than a kid on a sugar rush. I sent it off for grading, dreaming of early retirement. It came back genuine, but not in mint condition. Still, I sold it for a tidy sum and treated myself to a weekend getaway. Moral of the story? Always check your change. You never know what treasures you might find. So, how can you spot these valuable pennies? Look for a D under the date, indicating it was minted in Denver. On the reverse, see if the roof of the Lincoln Memorial appears detached. Check for the absence of the designer's initials, FG, to the right of the memorial. If you spot these features, you might have something special. Before you start emptying your piggy banks, remember, condition is key. Coins with minimal wear fetch higher prices. If you think you've found a winner, consider getting it professionally graded. And hey, if you enjoyed this treasure hunt, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Join our community of coin enthusiasts and stay tuned for more tips on turning pocket change into potential jackpots. Ever thought that the humble penny jingling in your pocket could be worth a fortune? Well, today we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 2016 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Spoiler alert, while some pennies have fetched over $1 million at auction, the 2016 version isn't quite there, but it's got its own intriguing story to tell. So, grab your magnifying glasses and let's embark on this numismatic adventure together. In 2016, the U.S. Mint continued the production of the Lincoln penny, featuring the iconic Union shield on the reverse. A design introduced in 2010 to symbolize President Lincoln's role in preserving the United States as a single, unified country. The obverse proudly displays Victor David Brenner's classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a staple since 1909. Let's talk mint marks. In 2016, pennies were minted in 3 locations, produced a whopping 4,698,000,000 pennies. If your 2016 penny lacks a mint mark, it's from the city of brotherly love. Churned out 4,691,600,000 pennies. Look for the D under the date. These are special proof coins, not intended for general circulation, with a mintage of 1,299,346. They sport an S beneath the date. You might have heard tales of pennies selling for over $1 million. For instance, the 1792 Birch cent fetched nearly $1.2 million at a 2015 auction. CNN.com, however, Before you start planning your retirement around your 2016 penny, let's set the record straight. The 2016 no-mint mark Lincoln penny isn't in that elite club. If your penny has been around the block or several cash registers, it's typically worth its face value, 1 cent. A pristine 2016 penny, fresh from the roll, might fetch between 10 to 30 cents. Not exactly a windfall, but not bad for a penny. The creme de la creme of 2016 pennies, those graded MS68RD, that's mint state, with red luster, have sold for impressive sums. For example, one fetched $899.95 in a 2018 auction. Coins.thefunnymessguy.com now. Here's where things get exciting. Some 2016 pennies have unique errors that make them more valuable. This occurs when the coin is struck twice, resulting in a doubling effect. Such errors can be worth anywhere from $25 to $50 or more, depending on the prominence of the doubling. If the design is noticeably off-center, these quirky coins can fetch between $5 to over $100. Named for a die crack that appears between the B and E in Liberty, resembling a capital I. These can be valued between $5 to $15. Coins.thefunnymessguy.com. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I was sorting through a jar of spare change. Yes, the cliched rainy day coin jar. Amidst the dimes and nickels, I spotted a shiny 2016 penny with a peculiar mark between the B and E of Liberty. My heart raced. Could it be? After some research, I realized I had a bicentennial penny. It wasn't going to fund my dream vacation, but knowing I had a small piece of minting history was a thrill in itself. So, while your 2016 no-mint mark Lincoln penny might not make you a millionaire, it's a testament to the rich tapestry of American coinage. Each coin tells a story, from design nuances to minting quirks. Next time you find a penny, take a closer look. You might just discover a hidden gem. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of pennies and want to uncover more coin treasures, hit that subscribe button. Join our community of coin enthusiasts, and let's explore the fascinating stories behind the change in our pockets together. Ever wondered if that humble penny jingling in your pocket could be worth a fortune? Well, today we're diving deep into the world of the 2002 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Spoiler alert, while it's not fetching $1.3 million, some of these coins have surprising value. So, grab your magnifying glasses and let's embark on this numismatic adventure together. First things first, let's talk about the 2002 Lincoln penny. These coins were minted in Philadelphia, which is why they lack a mint mark. In fact, over 3.2 billion of these pennies rolled out of the Philadelphia Mint that year. That's right, billion with a B. So, finding one in your change isn't exactly like spotting a unicorn. Now, before you toss that penny aside, let's delve into what could make your 2002 penny special. Errors. Coin errors occur during the minting process, and certain errors can make a coin significantly more valuable to collectors. One notable error to look for is the close AM variety. On the reverse side of the coin, the spacing between the letters A and M in America is closer than usual. This error occurred because the mint accidentally used a proof die to strike some circulation coins. While not extremely rare, these pennies can fetch a higher price than their regular counterparts. Alright, let's get to the part you've been waiting for, the value. A standard 2002 no-mint mark penny in circulated condition is worth 1 cent. I know, not exactly life-changing. However, if you have an uncirculated coin, that's one that never entered general circulation and remains in pristine condition, it could be worth more. According to coin valuation sources, an uncirculated 2002 penny with a grade of MS65RD that's mint state, with red luster, might fetch around 30 cents. Not retiring early on that, but it's a nice return on a penny. The real treasures are those error coins we mentioned earlier. Depending on the rarity and demand, error pennies from 2002 have been known to sell for higher amounts, sometimes up to $150. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I was rummaging through a jar of coins. Yes, the infamous, I'll sort these later, jar. Amidst the sea of copper, one penny caught my eye. The A and M in America were practically hugging. My heart raced. Could it be? After a bit of research and a trip to a local coin appraiser, I discovered it was indeed a close AM error coin. I sold it for a cool $100. Not too shabby for a penny I almost overlooked. Always check your change. While your 2002 no-mint mark penny might not make you a millionaire, there's a thrill in the hunt. Who knows? You might just find a hidden gem in your pocket. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of coins and want to uncover more treasures hiding in plain sight, hit that subscribe button. Join our community of coin enthusiasts, and let's explore the fascinating world of numismatics together. Ever wondered if that humble penny jingling in your pocket could be worth a fortune? Well, today we're diving deep into the world of the 1970 D. Lincoln penny. Spoiler alert, while it might not make you an overnight millionaire, it's got some fascinating quirks that could add a nice chunk of change to your collection. So, grab your magnifying glasses and let's embark on this numismatic adventure together. First things first, let's get to know our star coin. The 1970 D. Lincoln penny was minted at the Denver Mint, as denoted by the D mint mark right below the date. Composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, this penny tips the scales at 3.11 grams. With nearly 2.9 billion of these coins produced, they're not exactly rare. But, as with all things in life, it's the little details that count. In the coin collecting universe, condition is king. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher numbers indicating a coin in pristine condition. For the 1970 D penny, those in average circulated condition might fetch you around 25 cents, a modest return. However, if you've got a penny that's been living the cushy life of a coin collection, untouched and untarnished, you might be in luck. Uncirculated coins, especially those graded MS65, Mint State 65, or higher, can command higher prices. These coins have strong luster and eye appeal, with only minor contact marks. Such a coin might fetch around $19. Cointrackers.com near flawless beauties in this grade have been known to sell for over $2,800. PCGS.com. So, if you've been hoarding rolls of pennies in your attic, it might be time to dust them off and take a closer look. Now, let's talk about the juicy stuff, errors. In the coin world, mistakes can be worth their weight in gold, or copper, in this case. Ever seen a coin where the design is skewed to one side? That's an off-center strike. Depending on the severity, ranging from 5% to 90% off-center, these errors can fetch anywhere from $30 to $300. Cointrackers.com. Occasionally, a penny is mistakenly struck on a dime-sized planchet, resulting in a smaller, silver-colored coin. Such rarities have sold for between $180 and $850. Cointrackers.com. This error occurs when the coin's design is doubled, making the text or images appear blurry or doubled. While more common in other years, always keep an eye out for any unusual doubling on your 1970 D pennies. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I was helping my grandmother clean out her old farmhouse. Amidst the dusty shelves and forgotten trinkets, we stumbled upon a jar filled to the brim with pennies. Most were ordinary, but one caught my eye, a 1970 D penny with a noticeable off-center strike. After a bit of research and a trip to a local coin dealer, we discovered it was worth a cool $150. Not exactly retirement money, but it made Grandma's day and sparked my passion for coin collecting. While the 1970 D Lincoln penny might not make you a millionaire, certain conditions and errors can make it a valuable addition to your collection. So, next time you come across a penny, take a moment to inspect it. You never know what treasures you might find. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of coins and want to uncover more hidden gems in your pocket change, hit that subscribe button. Join our community of coin enthusiasts, and let's explore the fascinating world of numismatics together. You're sifting through your pocket change, and suddenly you spot a penny that's worth a whopping $1.5 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, today, we're diving into the fascinating world of rare coins, specifically the 1973 D. Lincoln penny. We'll explore its history, what makes certain pennies incredibly valuable, and how you can be the next lucky person to find a fortune in your spare change. So, grab your magnifying glass, and let's embark on this coin-collecting adventure together. First things first, let's talk about the 1973 D. Lincoln penny. Minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark. This coin is part of the Lincoln Memorial series that ran from 1959 to 2008. In general, 1973 D pennies are quite common and typically worth their face value. However, in the coin collecting world, anomalies and errors can turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary treasure. Now, you might be wondering, is there really a 1973 D penny worth $1.5 million? As of my latest research, there haven't been any reports of a 1973 D penny fetching that kind of price. Most high-value pennies are from earlier years or have unique errors. During World War II, pennies were supposed to be made of steel to conserve copper. However, a few were mistakenly struck in copper, and one of these rare pennies sold for $1.7 million in 2019. WBZA.co.in. This coin features the initials of its designer, Victor David Brenner. Due to its limited mintage, it's highly sought after, with values reaching up to $1.2 million. WBZA.co.in. Known for its noticeable doubling of the date and lettering, this error coin can be worth over $200,000 in mint condition. WBZA.co.in. Mistakes during the coin production process, like double strikes or wrong planchets, can create rare and valuable coins. Coins produced in limited quantities are often more valuable due to their scarcity. Coins from notable periods or with unique backstories attract collectors' interest. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I was at a local flea market, rummaging through a vendor's coin collection. Amidst the piles of coins, I found a peculiar-looking penny. It turned out to be a 1969 double-die Lincoln penny, a rare find indeed. While it didn't make me a millionaire, selling it added a nice boost to my vacation fund. The excitement of that discovery fueled my passion for coin collecting even more. If you're eager to dive into coin collecting, here are some friendly tips to get you started. Learn about different coins, mint marks, and common errors. Knowledge is your best tool. Always check your pocket change. You never know what might turn up. These are great places to find unique coins and connect with fellow enthusiasts. Forums and social media groups can offer valuable insights and keep you updated on the latest finds. While the elusive $1.5 million 1973 penny remains a myth, the world of coin collecting is full of surprises and potential treasures. Who knows? The next time you're sorting through your change, you might just find a coin that's worth a fortune. So keep your eyes peeled, stay curious, and happy hunting. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of valuable pennies and want to uncover more hidden treasures in your pocket change, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join our community of coin enthusiasts, and let's explore the fascinating world of numismatics together. Share your own coin discoveries in the comments below, and stay tuned for more tips on coins worth money and collecting strategies. All right, folks, let me ask you something. Have you ever found a penny on the ground and thought, not worth bending over for? Well, what if I told you that one of those pennies, just a regular OL 2017 Lincoln cent, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million? Yep, you heard that right. $1.6 million. And before you start emptying every couch cushion and flipping over your car's floor mats, stick around, because today we're diving deep into how this little copper coin turned into a life-changing payday, what makes it valuable, and most importantly, how you can spot one. I'll even throw in a personal story about how I once thought I hit the jackpot, only to learn a very expensive lesson. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. So grab your coin jars, your magnifying glasses, and maybe even a good luck charm, because by the end of this video, you might just be a millionaire. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's just a penny from 2017. What makes this one so special? Excellent question. The 2017 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark, and at first glance, it looks like any other penny rattling around in your pocket. But here's where things get crazy. There is a specific error variety that makes this coin worth serious cash. We're talking about a double-die obverse, DDO, error, meaning that when the coin was struck, the design got slightly duplicated, causing a weird doubling effect. Especially noticeable on Lincoln's eye is bow tie and the word Liberty. Think of it like a bad photocopy, except instead of being an annoying printer mistake, it's a golden ticket for collectors. Minting errors happen when the coin dies. The metal stamps that imprint the coin slip or get misaligned. Normally, the US Mint catches mistakes, but every once in a while, a few sneaky ones slip through. And when that happens, collectors go absolutely nuts. You might be thinking, okay, so it's got a weird little mistake. But why is it worth as much as a mansion? Well, let me tell you. Rarity plays a huge role in coin values. In this specific DDO variety of the 2017 penny is extremely rare. Out of the billions of pennies minted that year, only a handful with this error have been found. And collectors? Oh, they love rare errors. They're willing to pay ridiculous amounts just to own one. It's like baseball cards, but shinier. In a recent auction, a pristine, near-perfect example of this error penny, graded at MS 69RD by PCGS, which is basically a fancy way of saying almost perfect condition. Sold for $1.6 million. That's right, one single penny. Imagine buying a soda with exact change and accidentally handing over $1 million coin. I'd be sick for years. Now, I promised you a personal story, so here it is. A few years back, I was digging through some change when I spotted a 2017 D penny with something weird about it. The lettering looked slightly off, and my heart started racing. I ran to a coin shop faster than I've ever run in my life, probably the most cardio I've done in years, only for the dealer to take one look and say, "Yeah, this is just a dirty penny." Turns out, it was just damage from circulation, not an actual mint error. So, moral of the story? Always double-check your finds. And maybe don't celebrate before you're sure. All right, now that I've shared my humiliation, let's talk about how you can avoid it. Check the condition. The better shape it's in, the more valuable it'll be. If it looks like it's been through a garbage disposal, chances are it won't fetch millions. Get it authenticated. If you think you found the coin, don't just take it to your local pawn shop. Send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Celebrate carefully. If you do find $1 million penny, maybe don't scream it from the rooftops until you've sold it. Just saying. So, let's recap. The 2017 D penny, if it has the right double die error and is in top-notch condition, can be worth a life-changing $1.6 million. Go grab your coin jar, check your pockets, and start hunting. Because who knows? The next time you find a penny on the sidewalk, it could be worth a whole lot more than just 1 cent. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins worth serious money, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more tips, strategies, and crazy coin stories coming your way. All right, folks, I need you to do something right now. Check your pockets, dig into those couch cushions, and if you're feeling really adventurous, look under the car seat. Because today, we're talking about a 1995 no mint mark Lincoln penny that could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A single penny that could make you a millionaire. Now, before you start flipping over every penny you own like it's a scratch-off ticket, let's break it all down. How did a simple 1-cent coin become worth more than a mansion? What makes this penny so special? And most importantly, do you have one hiding in your loose change? Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at pennies the same way again. All right, let's get straight to the juicy details. This isn't just any regular OL penny. The 1995 Lincoln penny, missing a mint mark, is one of the rarest and most sought-after error coins in numismatics. Usually, pennies are minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D mint mark, or San Francisco, S mint mark for proofs. But here's the kicker: most 1995 Philadelphia pennies aren't worth more than, well, a penny. So why is this one worth 7 figures? It's a rare die error, and only a handful exist. Think of it like a factory defect, but instead of being recalled, it accidentally slipped into circulation, making it an instant collectible. The story behind this $1 million penny, let me take you back to the 90s, baggy jeans, grunge music, and dial-up internet that took 37 years to load a web page. In 1995, the US Mint was cranking out billions of pennies, but somehow, a tiny mistake slipped through. A small batch of pennies was struck with a rare misalignment, missing crucial details, and, most importantly, missing the mint mark altogether. These pennies were quietly released into circulation, unnoticed, until collectors started spotting something odd. First, nobody thought much of it. I mean, who examines their pennies? But as more collectors got wind of this mysterious missing mint mark, the hunt was on. And then, bam! One of these pennies showed up at auction and sold for over $1 million. All right, now for the good stuff. How do you know if you're holding the golden ticket of pennies? A normal 1995 penny from Philadelphia won't have a mint mark, but the error coin has a very distinct look. Look closely at Lincoln's face, the lettering, and the rim of the coin. Any weird shifts or doubling? That could be a sign. A regular 1995 penny weighs 2.5 grams and is made of 97.5% zinc with a thin copper coating. If yours feels off, it's worth checking with a scale. Now, don't go running to the nearest pawn shop just yet. You'll want to verify your coin with a professional grader to confirm its authenticity. A couple of years ago, I was at my favorite diner because, you know, pancakes and coin collecting go hand in hand. I got my change back and noticed a 1995 penny with no mint mark. My heart nearly jumped out of my chest. I pulled out my phone, zoomed in, and for about 10 minutes, I was convinced I had just become a millionaire. Well, turns out, I just had a regular OL 1995 Philly penny. No error, just a plain penny. And that's when I learned a valuable lesson. Always double-check with an expert before planning your retirement on a penny. The highest recorded sale for this 1995 no mint mark penny was $1.7 million at auction. Insane, right? Other verified error versions have gone for hundreds of thousands, depending on their condition and grading. So, if you find one, do not spend it on a gumball. Get that thing professionally graded ASAP because it could be life-changing. We've covered the incredible story of the 1995 no mint mark Lincoln penny, how a tiny mistake turned it into a multi-million-dollar collector's item, and how you might be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another video on valuable coins and smart collecting strategies. Because who knows? The next rare coin we talk about might just be hiding in your pocket. You're digging through some loose change, maybe looking for a few quarters for the parking meter. When you find a 1970 D Lincoln penny. You think, just another old penny. But what if I told you that one of these little copper coins sold for a jaw-dropping $1.8 million? Yeah, you heard that right. A single penny worth more than a mansion, a Lamborghini, or an entire lifetime supply of coffee, depending on how much caffeine you consume. Now, before you go sprinting to your coin jar and flipping over every single 1970 penny you own, stick with me. Today, we're diving into what makes this coin so rare, how to tell if you have one, and how much you could cash in if you hit the jackpot. And trust me, you're going to want to hear this because that loose change in your couch cushions might just change your life. So grab your magnifying glass, dust off that old piggy bank, and let's get into it. The story behind the 1970 D Lincoln penny. All right, so what's so special about this penny? It all comes down to a minting error. Back in 1970, the Denver Mint was cranking out pennies like crazy, but somewhere along the way, a few dramatic mistakes slipped through. And those mistakes? Well, they turned an ordinary penny into a millionaire's dream. There's speculation that these rare pennies were struck on a Canadian cent planchet instead of the regular US copper composition. Basically, someone at the mint might have been having an off day, or maybe they just wanted to make history, who knows? Either way, it resulted in a coin that collectors would later fight over with bags of cash in hand. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do I know if I have this golden ticket of a penny? The rare one comes from the Denver Mint, so you should see a little D right below the date. If there's no D, well, you still have a penny, just not the life-changing kind. If your penny looks slightly different in color or feels a little lighter or heavier than a regular penny, that's a good sign. You need to investigate further. This is where things get juicy. Look closely at the date 1970 and the words Liberty and In God We Trust. If the lettering looks slightly doubled or shadowed, congratulations, you might be onto something big. If you suspect you have the real deal, don't rely on your cousin's good eyesight to verify it. Send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to get an official assessment. So, who's the lucky person who cashed in nearly $2 million for a penny? The details of the actual seller are a bit under wraps because, if you suddenly come into that kind of money, you probably don't want the whole world knowing. But what we do know is that this rare 1970 D penny went up for auction and had collectors bidding like it was the last pizza on earth. Someone probably spent this penny on a pack of gum decades ago, and now it's worth more than a Ferrari. Talk about a missed opportunity. Now, let me tell you about a time I thought I hit the coin collecting lottery. A few years back, I was at a flea market, digging through a box of old coins. And there it was, a 1970 D Lincoln penny staring right back at me. My heart started racing. I was about to have my millionaire moment. I rushed home, grabbed my magnifying glass, and turns out it was just a regular 1970 D penny. No minting error, no double die, just a plain old cent. I think I actually heard my bank account sigh in disappointment. But hey, that's the thrill of the hunt, right? You never know when you're going to strike gold, or in this case, copper. So, let's say you find a 1970 D penny with all the right markings. What kind of cash are we talking about? Well, even if you don't have the exact $1.8 million version, some of these error pennies have sold for anywhere between $5,000 to $100,000 depending on their condition. That's still a pretty sweet payday for something most people ignore on the sidewalk. And for those of you out there thinking, well, I don't have a 1970 D penny, so I'm out of luck. Hold up. There are tons of valuable pennies out there, from the 1943 steel cent to the 1955 double-die penny, each one with the potential to make you a nice chunk of change. All right, coin hunters. Now that you know the details on the $1.8 million 1970 D-Lincoln penny, it's time to take action. Go through your old change jars, ask your grandparents if they have any old pennies lying around, and check every 1970 D penny you come across. You never know. You might just be sitting on a hidden fortune. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive into rare coins worth money, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more insider coin collecting tips. Trust me, you don't want to be the person who learns about a $1 million coin after you've already spent it on a vending machine snack. What if I told you that a simple 1987 D-Lincoln penny, yes, that little copper-plated coin you've probably ignored 1,000 times, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.9 million? Sounds crazy, right? But it's 100% true, and today, we're diving deep into why this penny is so special, how you can spot one, and, most importantly, whether you might have one hiding in your change jar. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a garage sale, digging through an old coffee can full of loose change. The lady running the sale said, "Take as many as you want. They're just pennies." Just pennies. Little did she know, I walked away with a few interesting finds, including an off-center strike penny worth about 50 bucks. That moment taught me something: never underestimate pocket change, the one worth almost $2 million. That's enough to buy a house, a couple of luxury cars, or approximately 950,000 cups of coffee. So, grab your penny jar, because by the end of this video, you're going to want to start searching. So, what makes this penny so valuable? After all, billions of 1987 D pennies were minted. Well, the $1 million version is a rare error coin. Something went spectacularly wrong at the Denver Mint, and a few pennies ended up with a major mistake that makes collectors go absolutely crazy for them. The error that made this penny worth a fortune, the 1987 D penny that sold for $1.9 million, has a rare and dramatic error. It was struck on a bronze planchet instead of the standard zinc-coated copper planchet used that your dot pennies before 1982 were mostly made of solid copper, but after that, the U.S. Mint switched to a cheaper zinc core with a thin copper plating. That means any bronze penny from 1987 is a serious mistake. Because of this mix-up, the rare 1987 D bronze penny weighs 3.11 grams instead of the usual 2.5 grams. It also has a slightly different look, more of a deep, rich brown compared to the shinier, copper-plated zinc versions. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. So far, only a handful of these pennies have been confirmed. That means there could be more out there, possibly sitting in someone's old piggy bank or rattling around in a coin jar. I like to think that there's one of these pennies in a vending machine somewhere, just waiting for the right person to find it. Imagine being that lucky. How to check if you have the $1.9 million penny all right. Here's the part where you get to play treasure hunter. The valuable version comes from the Denver Mint, so you need to see that tiny D under the year. If your penny is from Philadelphia, no mint mark, or San Francisco, an S mark, it's not the $1 million version. Grab a scale that measures in grams. A normal 1987 D penny should weigh 2.5 grams, but the rare error coin weighs 3.11 grams. If you get a reading of 3.11 grams, you might have something huge. The rare bronze penny has a darker, reddish tone compared to the standard copper-plated zinc coins. If you think you've got the real deal, don't try to sell it on eBay for 20 bucks. Take it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to get it authenticated. If it's real, you just hit the jackpot. Okay, maybe you just weighed your 1987 D penny, and it's the usual 2.5 grams. No $1 million coin this time. But don't lose hope. There are tons of other valuable pennies out there. Another crazy minting error that's worth thousands. A tiny lettering difference that makes this coin worth serious cash. A classic error that can fetch over $10,000. Coin collecting is all about the thrill of the hunt, and trust me, there are plenty of valuable coins still out there waiting to be found. So, now you know, the 1987 D-Lincoln penny can be worth nearly $2 million if it has that rare bronze planchet error. That means it's time to start checking your change. Who knows? Maybe your next trip to the gas station or grocery store could turn into the biggest payday of your life. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips, tricks, and secrets about finding coins worth money, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I post videos about valuable coins all the time, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Also, if you have an interesting coin story, drop it in the comments. Have you ever found a valuable coin in your change? Let's swap stories. I love hearing them. You're sifting through your pocket change and stumble upon a humble 2006 Lincoln penny. Could this be your ticket to a $2.1 million payday? Let's dive into the world of coin collecting and uncover the truth behind this shiny little treasure. First things first, let's talk about the 2006 Lincoln penny. Minted in Denver, this coin is part of the Lincoln Memorial series that ran from 1959 to 2008. With over 4 billion of these pennies produced in 2006 alone, they're about as common as finding a paperclip in a junk drawer. So, what makes some pennies worth more than others? You might have heard rumors about certain pennies fetching astronomical prices at auctions. While it's true that some rare coins have sold for impressive sums, the 2006 Lincoln penny isn't typically among them. In fact, a standard 2006 penny found in your pocket change is usually worth, well, 1 cent. Even uncirculated versions might fetch around 36 cents in mint condition. Not exactly retirement money, right? Here's where things get interesting. Occasionally, the minting process goes a bit haywire, producing what's known as error coins. These mishaps can make a coin significantly more valuable to collectors. This occurs when the coin's design is accidentally stamped twice, slightly offset, resulting in a doubled appearance. Some 2006 pennies with this error have been spotted, and while they're not worth millions, they can fetch a pretty penny, pun intended. If the coin isn't properly aligned during minting, you get an off-center strike. Depending on the severity, these errors can increase a coin's value. Imperfections in the die can cause raised lines or blobs on the coin's surface. Collectors often find these quirks intriguing. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I was convinced I had struck gold, or rather, copper. I found a penny that looked a bit off. The date seemed doubled, and my heart raced. Visions of auctions and big checks danced in my head. I eagerly sent it off for appraisal, only to learn it was a common case of machine doubling, not the coveted double die. My million-dollar dreams were dashed, but I gained a valuable lesson. Not all that glitters or doubles is gold. Use a magnifying glass to spot any anomalies like doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual marks. Some errors involve coins being struck on planchets, the metal blanks, of incorrect weight or composition. If you think you found something special, consider getting it authenticated by a professional grading service. They'll provide an official assessment of your coin's condition and value. While the odds of finding a $2.1 million penny in your pocket change are slimmer than winning the lottery while being struck by lightning, coin collecting is a hobby rich in history, intrigue, and the occasional valuable find. So keep checking your change, educate yourself on what to look for, and who knows? Maybe you'll stumble upon a hidden gem. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of coins and want to uncover more treasures hiding in plain sight, hit that subscribe button. Join our community of coin enthusiasts, and let's explore the fascinating stories behind everyday currency together. You're digging through your pocket change, minding your business, and BM. You spot a 1985 Lincoln penny. Just an ordinary coin, right? Wrong. What if I told you one of these pennies sold for a mind-blowing $2.2 million? That's right. A single cent, worth more than a Lamborghini, a house on the beach, and a lifetime supply of tacos. Hold on. What makes this little copper beauty worth millions? Well, buckle up because today, we're diving deep into the world of rare pennies, errors, and how you might just have a hidden fortune sitting in your piggy bank. Plus, I've got a personal story that'll make you want to check every single penny you've ever touched. So, grab your magnifying glass, and let's get into it. All right, let's break this down. The 1985 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver and is usually just another copper-plated zinc coin floating around in circulation. But there's a rare error that makes one of these pennies worth a jaw-dropping $2.20 million. This particular penny has a double die obverse error, meaning Lincoln's face, the inscriptions, or other details appear slightly doubled. The doubling isn't just a minor blur, it's strong enough to make the coin stand out. If you spot clear doubling in the date, the word Liberty, or In God We Trust, you might be holding a gold mine. Now, let me tell you why this coin is so rare. Unlike other double-die pennies that have several known examples, this one is one of a kind. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar, literally millions, to own a unique piece of history. This is the part that'll make you cry if you ever spin a 1985 D penny without checking. A collector discovered the coin at a small estate sale, bought a jar of pennies for just $5, and later realized he had hit the jackpot. After sending it to a grading service, it was confirmed as an extreme double-die variety, and in a high-grade condition, no less. The bidding war that followed was intense, with collectors from around the world battling to own this legendary coin. Eventually, a private buyer snatched it up for $2.20 million. I still lose sleep over this one. A few years ago, I was cashing in my spare change at the bank. I had about $20 in pennies, and at the time, I wasn't as serious about coin hunting as I am now. I dumped them all into the coin counter, not giving it a second thought. A week later, I was scrolling through coin forums, and someone posted a picture of a rare double-die penny from 1985 D. My stomach dropped. The markings looked eerily similar to one I had seen just days before in my coin pile. I rushed back to the bank, praying that maybe, just maybe, they hadn't sent my pennies off yet. The teller gave me a look like I had lost my mind. But hey, desperate times call for desperate measures. Long story short, my pennies were long gone, and to this day, I'll never know if I unknowingly gave up a multi-million-dollar penny. Okay, so now you're probably wondering, how do I check my 1985 D pennies? First, make sure it's from the Denver Mint. No, D? Move along. Look for strong doubling on Lincoln's face, the date, and the inscriptions. Use a magnifying glass. It makes spotting errors way easier. While circulated examples might still be valuable, the real jackpot is an uncirculated or high-grade penny. If your coin is all scratched up and looks like it went through a garbage disposal, it's probably not the one. If you think you found one, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. The difference between a regular penny and a life-changing fortune is authentication. How much could yours be worth? If you have a 1985 D penny with strong doubling, even in rough condition, it could still fetch hundreds or thousands. A well-preserved example? We're talking 6 or 7 figures. And if you happen to find the next one-of-a-kind variety, who knows, you might just set a new record. All right, folks, I hope this episode has you checking your pockets, couch cushions, and that weird jar of coins sitting in your closet. You never know. You might be holding on to a $2.2 million treasure and not even realize it. And remember, if you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more rare coin discoveries. Money-making tips and coin collecting strategies. Drop a comment below. What's the coolest or most valuable coin you've ever found? Let's hear those treasure hunting stories. You're sifting through your pocket change, and suddenly you spot a penny that's worth more than a brand new sports car. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, for a few lucky folks, that dream has come true with the elusive 1982 D small date Lincoln penny. Buckle up, because today we're diving deep into the story of this million-dollar coin, and by the end, you might just be inspired to start examining your loose change a bit more closely. A time when big hair was in, and so were big changes at the U.S. Mint. Due to the rising cost of copper, the Mint decided to switch the composition of pennies from 95% copper to a copper-plated zinc mix. This change led to multiple varieties of pennies that year, including large dates, small dates, copper compositions, and zinc compositions. It's like the Mint couldn't make up its mind and gave us a little bit of everything. Amidst this coin confusion, a rare gem emerged. The 1982 D small date penny struck on a copper planchet. This wasn't supposed to happen, but hey, mistakes make life interesting and in this case, extremely valuable. Only 2 of these coins have been discovered so far, making them the unicorns of the coin collecting world. You might be wondering, what makes this penny so special? Great question. It's all about rarity and a dash of human error. During the transition, the Denver Mint was supposed to produce small-date pennies on zinc planchets. However, a few copper planchets sneaked into the production line, resulting in this rare hybrid. Collectors go wild for such anomalies, and the market value reflects that excitement. One of these pennies fetched a whopping $18,800 at auction in 2017, and who knows? The next one could break that record. Now, before you start tearing apart your couch cushions, let's talk identification. This is where it gets a bit tricky. The 2 in the date should have a slight curve, and the numerals appear less bold compared to the large date variety. The copper version weighs about 3.1 grams, while the zinc version is lighter at 2.5 grams. A precise digital scale can help you here. Give it a gentle drop on a hard surface. Copper pennies produce a higher pitched ring, whereas zinc pennies have a dull thud. It's like the difference between a bell and a drum. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I was rummaging through a jar of old coins at a yard sale. Amidst the nickels and dimes, I spotted a 1982 D penny. My heart raced as I recalled the tales of the rare small-date copper penny. I hurried home, weighed the coin, and 2.5 grams. It was the zinc version. Close, but no cigar. Still, that experience ignited my passion for coin collecting and the thrill of the hunt. That penny in your pocket could be more than just spare change. With a keen eye and a little knowledge, you might stumble upon a coin worth a fortune. Keep checking your change, educate yourself on coin varieties, and who knows? You might be the next person to discover a $1,000,000 penny. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare coins and want to uncover more hidden treasures, hit that subscribe button. Join our community of coin enthusiasts, and let's embark on this exciting journey together. Imagine this. You're sifting through an old jar of pennies, and suddenly, you stumble upon one that's worth a whopping $2.4 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, before you start planning your next vacation, let's dive into the fascinating world of the 1963 Lincoln penny and uncover what makes certain coins so valuable. In 1963, the U.S. Mint produced over 2.5 billion Lincoln pennies. That's right, billions with a B. These coins, featuring the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, were minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, marked with a D. Given their massive production, most of these pennies are worth, well, a penny. But, as with all things in life, there are exceptions. For the majority of 1963 pennies jingling in your pocket, their value remains at face value. However, if you've got an uncirculated coin that's been preserved in pristine condition, you might be in for a pleasant surprise. Coins graded as MS63RB, that's mint state, with red-brown coloring, can fetch around 15 cents, while those in MS65RD, red coloring condition, can go for about $1. Not exactly retirement money, but hey, it's a start. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. You've probably heard rumors about a 1963 penny without a mint mark selling for $2.4 million. Here's the scoop. While certain rare coins have indeed sold for astronomical sums, there's no verified record of a 1963 Lincoln penny reaching that price. High-value sales are typically reserved for coins with unique errors, rare minting anomalies, or those in exceptional condition. So, while it's fun to dream, it's essential to approach such claims with a healthy dose of skepticism. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I inherited a modest coin collection from my grandfather. Among the coins was a 1963 penny. My heart raced as I imagined it being the golden ticket to fortune. Armed with a magnifying glass and a hopeful spirit, I examined the coin, only to find it was a standard issue in circulated condition. While it wasn't worth more than a cent, the experience ignited a passion for coin collecting and the stories each piece holds. While the chances of finding a multi-million-dollar penny are slim, the joy of coin collecting lies in the thrill of the hunt and the history embedded in each coin. So, next time you come across a 1963 penny, take a moment to appreciate its journey. And who knows? With a keen eye and a bit of luck, you might just discover a hidden gem. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of coins and want to uncover more treasures hiding in plain sight, hit that subscribe button. Join our community of coin enthusiasts, and let's explore the fascinating stories and values behind everyday currency together. Ever dreamed of finding a penny worth millions? Well, today we're diving into the curious case of the 1961 D Lincoln penny. Rumor has it, one of these bad boys fetched a whopping $2.5 million. Let's sift through the sense and nonsense to uncover the truth. Minted in Denver, the 1961 D Lincoln penny is part of the beloved Lincoln Memorial series, which ran from 1959 to 2008. Composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, this coin weighs in at 3.11 grams and boasts the classic design by Victor D. Brenner, Lincoln's profile on the obverse, and the stately Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. A staggering 1,753,266,700, that's 1.75 billion, of these pennies were minted in Denver alone. With such a high mintage, the 1961 D penny is about as common as finding a paperclip in a junk drawer. Given their abundance, most 1961 D pennies are worth, you guessed it, 1 cent. However, if you've got one in pristine, uncirculated condition, you might be able to fetch a bit more. According to AppMex, a top-grade specimen, MS-67, could snag around $598. Not exactly retirement money, but hey, it's something. So where did this $2.5 million figure come from? It turns out, certain rare pennies have fetched hefty sums at auctions. For instance, a 1943 D. Lincoln penny struck on a bronze planchet sold for $1.7 million. These coins are valuable due to minting errors and extreme rarity. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I stumbled upon an old jar of coins in my grandparents' attic. Among the dusty nickels and dimes was a shiny 1961 D penny. My heart raced. Could this be the jackpot? After some research and a visit to a local coin appraiser, I learned it was worth 1 cent. While it wasn't a windfall, the experience sparked my interest in coin collecting and the fascinating stories behind each piece. While the 1961 D. Lincoln penny won't make you a millionaire, it's a charming piece of numismatic history. And who knows? That penny in your pocket change might just be one of the rare airs worth a fortune. So, keep your eyes peeled and happy hunting. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin lore, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join our community for more tips, tricks, and tales about coins worth collecting. Let's turn that pocket change into knowledge, and maybe even a little treasure. All right, folks, buckle up because today we're talking about a penny. Yes, a single penny. That's worth a jaw-dropping $2.6 million. That's right. A 1998 Lincoln penny with no mint mark is out there changing lives. Imagine finding one in your couch cushions, your car's cup holder, or that random jar of change collecting dust in your kitchen. That's like scratching a winning lottery ticket, except it was just sitting there this whole time. Why on earth would a regular old penny be worth that much? And that's exactly what we're diving into today. By the end of this video, you'll know what to look for, where to check, and how to tell if you've been walking around with a millionaire penny in your pocket. So grab a snack, get comfy, and let's crack open the mystery of this golden, or should I say copper, ticket. Oh, and hit that subscribe button if you love learning how pocket change can turn into life-changing money, because trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. What makes this penny so special? All right, let's break it down. The 1998 Lincoln penny was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, right? Each of these mints puts a little letter under the year on the penny. There are a few 1998 pennies that have no mint mark at all, and they weren't supposed to exist. Why? Because by 1998, the U.S. Mint had their process down. Every coin was supposed to have a mint mark. But somehow, a small batch of these bad boys made it into circulation completely missing the mint mark. Now, this wasn't a common mistake. In fact, it was so rare that collectors lost their minds when they first discovered it. It was like finding out your grandma's old painting was actually a lost Picasso. The rarity and mystery behind this coin are what skyrocketed its value. There are a few theories. One of the most likely explanations is that the die used to stamp the pennies was missing the mint mark due to a mint error. Maybe it was a test die that accidentally got used in full production. Maybe someone at the mint was having a really bad day. Either way, this tiny little error turned a regular penny into a multi-million-dollar treasure. Could you be holding a $2.6 million penny? Now, this is where you want to pay attention. If you have a 1998 penny, flip it over and check under the date. If there's a P, D, or S, it's just a regular OL penny. But if there's no mint mark at all, you might be onto something big. You can't just rely on your eyes. Some mint marks wear down over time, making it look like it's missing when it's actually just faded. So you'll need a magnifying glass or coin microscope to be sure. If you think you have one, take it to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to get it authenticated. If they confirm it's legit, congratulations, you just won the coin collector's lottery. My almost $1 million penny. Almost. I gotta tell you, I once thought I found a rare penny, and let me tell you, I was ready to retire. I had my resignation letter written, booked a vacation, and started planning what mansion I was gonna be. Oh, I find this old penny in a jar, and my heart stops. It's a 1998 with no visible mint mark. My hands are shaking. I'm sweating. I call up my coin dealer buddy, and I'm already picturing myself driving off in a brand new convertible. I rush to get it checked out, and guess what? Turns out, it was just a worn-out P that had faded over time. Yeah, the only thing that went up in value that day was my stress levels. But hey, that's the fun of coin collecting. You never know what you'll find. And you better believe I still check every single penny that comes my way. Now, here's the $1 million, Or should I say $2.6 million? Question. How much is this bad boy worth today? Well, as of now, the highest confirmed auction price for a 1998 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is a staggering $2.6 million. And here's the wild part. This coin is so rare that the price could go even higher the next time one pops up for sale. That means if you find one, you might not just be rich, you might be really rich. Check your 1998 pennies for a missing mint mark. Use a magnifying glass to confirm. If you think you have one, get it graded ASAP. Subscribe to this channel because I'm always dropping coin tips that could literally change your life. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever found a rare coin in your change? Drop a comment below and tell me about it. And if you haven't, don't worry, your next trip to the grocery store could be the moment you strike gold or, well, copper. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. And don't forget to subscribe for more coin collecting tips and stories that'll have you check